So the project that we see here is a project that's funded by the United States Department of Agriculture, the Natural Resources Conservation Service, through a Conservation Innovation Grant. And basically what this grant is funding is us to take a look at utilizing a perennial plant as a cover crop. And instead of having to plant an annual plant every year, you can save the expense on seeds by planting this cover crop only once and then utilizing that from year to year as a weed management control. Now, it's very important to take a look at how these crops are going to interact with various types of cash crops. So we did this in soybeans, as you can see here. We've also done it with corn. We're doing it with vegetable production, and as well in an orchard and in a pasture. So we want to look at how this is going to interact with a number of different agricultural enterprises. So the initial round of research that we did with this was looking at a wide selection of many of these perennial plants in order to identify plants that, one, would have very good spread over the surface of the soil but not grow too tall, and the other would be something that we could go over a number of times with equipment, because we're going to be planting and harvesting. So we want to make sure that the stems wouldn't break over and that the plants would die. We want to make sure that the plants will continue to live even though they're going to have some disturbance to them. We also wanted to check this in a pasture system where you would have animals that could be grazing. Wanted to see if the animals would do any type of grazing of these plants, but more importantly, we wanted to make sure that these plants would survive having animals that would trample over the plants. So we found that the plant you can see here, chamomile, was one of the most effective plants at being able to grow a good spread. This white flowered plant has a very good spread across the soil surface and was able to smother out some of the weeds in this particular plot. Now, one of the issues that happened with this was how to figure out how to be able to to seed these plants. So what we had was a very small seeded plant, and then we were treating it with a liquid compost extract. And that resulted in a lot of small seeds clumping together. So we tried a number of different things that we'll describe in an article that will also accompany this video. But what we found the most effective was to actually mix it then with dry compost. And this would work out very well because it would allow us to be able to disseminate these seeds over a very large landscape. Rather than doing it in small research plots, you could actually do it over several acres utilizing a compost spreader.